Alright, I just got back from watching Stranger Things Season 3, and I have to say that there were some ups and downs this season. Mostly the best parts were at the beginning of the season, but the finale was utter garbage, just like I knew it would be. Let's talk about the positives first, because there were a lot of improvements over last season, but at the same time, there were also a lot of negatives that kind of brought my points down, okay? So, if you've seen my other review, I'll link it down in the description. I reviewed the first 3 episodes because they were so good that I wanted to make an early review. But now that I've finished the entire season, I can honestly say that my score went down a bit. But let's start with the positives first. Okay, so I really did enjoy Max and Eleven's friendship in this season. Like, it was a great highlight because it was an improvement over season 2 where their first impression wasn't good. Like, when Eleven first see Max, she's jealous of her because she thought Mike replaced her with Max. So it was good to see them kind of like reconcile in the first episode or the second episode, and it's good to see Eleven and Max hanging out, and Max trying to make Eleven like a normal person because she missed out on those normal human stuff when she was being an experiment. So that was a good highlight of the season 3. Those two being friends. So if you have seen the first episode, we are set up with this intense opening sequence. They open up the gate again. These Russian workers. They're underground, and we get like a random 1 year time skip, which is so stupid. And we see Eleven and Mike. I mean, them being bratty teenagers makes sense. It's realistic because they are obviously in puberty, so that's not a negative. The first 3 episodes were really good though. Starting episode 4 and around episode 5 is probably where it went a bit bad. But Dustin, Erica, Erica Sinclair, which is Lucas's sister, Robin, and Steve, they were my favorite parts of the season. In fact, Steve has been great throughout season 2 as well and season 3. I did not like Steve's character in season 1, but he got the best, in my opinion, the best character development. In fact, my favorite characters in the past few seasons were Mike Wheeler, obviously the Finn Wolfhard. He's my favorite character in season 1 and season 2. But season 3, I think Steve outshined Mike and as my favorite character this time. So we got interesting new plot lines. Them deciphering the Russian code was one of my favorite parts of the season because we get to see every one of them using their brains. Like, they try to look around the. Let's see, Robin tries to look around the mall to decipher the code, and turns out that the Russians were not as smart as they think. That she actually mocks them around episode like 7 when Steve and Robin were both captured. Then we get this hilarious sequence. Well, Erica was actually really hilarious. I mean, I've read some people on Reddit saying they didn't like Erica's character, that she was annoying and all that, but I felt, in my opinion, she was a great add-on. So it's like the early parts of the seasons, they reminded me of Infinity War, where the groups are split into different groups, and but their objective remains the same. So just like in Infinity War, we had Team Iron Man, Team Captain America, Team Thor, Team Nidavellir. You know what I mean? Like, so we had like Dawson split up from the rest of the gang because he felt a little disillusioned at first. He thought that they didn't want him home, so he went out with Steve in the wherever he's working at. So that's where we meet Robin, who was a great character. It was a good idea to add her in the show. So yeah, they in my opinion, arguably they got the most interesting events that happened to them compared to the other groups. Now, Billy being a villain, well, good thing they still used the Mind Flayer for this. Billy being a villain, that was pretty interesting. I mean, we saw him being a villain, sort of a villain in season 2, but most of the focus was on the Mind Flayer instead, so Billy was like a minor antagonist, which, yeah, I actually liked. I think the actor did a good job as Billy. He certainly was more intimidating, like, especially when he fought Eleven in episode 4, the sauna test. God, that was my favorite part of the entire season. Billy versus Eleven was amazing. I mean, it was an absolute mind fuck to see Eleven, like, for the first time, Eleven getting overpowered by brute force. That was a big mind fuck. The action was good. The way they built up the scene was great. We had Mike and the team were using their brains to trick him to entering the sauna. That was really good. I enjoyed all of that. I had no problems with any of that. Let's talk about special effects too. Special effects were the same. I mean, I think they improved on the special effects a little bit in season 3. The monster did look realistic, and so let's go with the plot lines, which I think season 3 had a more interesting plot line than season 2, because season two's plot line was similar to season one's, just rehashed. But season 3 we had the whole mystery with the Russians and their code, so all these subplots were interesting and kept the viewers interested. So it wasn't like those, like most fiction like novels, they make the mistake where they have all these subplots where no one really gives a damn about it because they just want to get the main plot. But here they did it really well. They made us care for the minor subplots and for the major subplots, and the result of that was beautiful. So we also have this awesome scene around somewhere in the middle of the season where Eleven is seeing Billy, and we get to see young Billy in a beach. We get to see him being happy in the beach, and then they decipher that he's in California instead of Hawkins because Lucas realizes there's no beaches near them, and we get to see a very short sequence, but it was powerful but short, where young Dad is insulting him, abusing him right in that same area, and that's when they're trying to find the source. I think it was the source, yeah. So I actually loved that sequence, despite it being short. That was a powerful sequence. If you look into it, I actually really enjoyed it. Now we also got. Now let's head over to the negatives now, because oh dear, like while they improved a lot, they also ruined a lot of different things. Now, the finale, god damn. Okay, let's talk about the finale. I mean, like, this was it. That was the finale, and this is what you put out? That was how you end the season? This was shit. I mean, for real, like, I mean, season 2 may have been underwhelming, but at least it had a strong finale. We had a heartbreaking moments, which, by the way, let's talk about the Billy's death. Spoiler alert, Billy gets killed by the enemy that they're trying to kill, and I don't know, like they try to make it they try to make it so emotional, but honestly, I was just confused. Like, I mean, like last season, Max and Billy absolutely hated each other. They were fighting and all that shit, and all of a sudden Max suddenly cares. I mean, I'm just like, what? I was surprised about it, and it was overall, like, the finale was quite underwhelming overall. And let's talk about the plot convenience, because oh man, like, not only in the finale but the plot convenience was through the roof. Look, we had Jonathan and what's her name, Nancy. They were getting their asses beat, and for whatever reason they just would not die. Like, let's talk about Jonathan fighting two mind controlled flares. He's getting hits, beaten over and over again, had his back broken, thrown around the room, had his head smashed, doesn't die. In fact, it seems the show made it look like he only took a mild beating, when in reality he should have been down for the count. Nancy taking hits, doesn't die. I mean, god damn, the plot armor is just through the roof. I mean, I've seen dudes in real life take less of that shit and they are down for the count. Yet Jonathan gets up, is able to run, and is suddenly able to fight as if he only took a mild beating. When in reality, those punches are coming from, you know how Billy is mind controlled, so he's all of a sudden he seems stronger and everything. Jonathan is getting hits from those non-regular, those flares, and he is still alive. I mean, oh my god. Now, yeah, Billy being a villain though, that was really good. Him, Max trying to get through to him. I like the scene where he fights Max 11 and Mike. In the finale, that was like one of the highlights of that otherwise dull episode. But yeah, we have to, after Billy's dead. We get time skip and see that they're moving houses. I mean, we get to see Lucas and Max singing, which is corny as hell, and also another thing I would like to mention is why. I mean, Susie being revealed as a real person. Okay, that was really cool, but why some bullshit plot convenience when they're singing? I mean, why are they singing when they're in danger? I mean, like, I know. Okay, I'm all for the comedy. I'm not like one of those people who complain too much about comedy. Okay, I'm all for comedy. Like, I like seeing light tone in shows, but that was out of place. Like, why would they be singing when they're in danger? Like, a mind flares after you all. there's Russians trying to kill your friends. I mean, why would it's like that scene just felt out of place in my opinion. Um, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that was in the finale where Susie and what's her name? What's his name? Dustin. They finally get in contact after a while, and then Susie is playing around like she refuses to give it until Dustin does whatever, and I am in my mind I am just thinking, Susie, the world is at stake. Just do it already, god damn it! And then when they started singing, I just I mean, like as I said before, okay, I'm not one of those guys who want everything to be all serious, but at least know when to put it. Like, don't put it in scenes where it doesn't need to have comedy. So now, one thing I am surprised about is that the scenes that are supposed to be emotional, just I don't know why, but there was something off. Like I don't think it's the actors or anything. It's just that like we didn't really care much about the emotional aspect. Like Billy dying, I didn't really tear up as I was expecting. Mike and the others moving. That was I'm just like okay. I mean, I was left with an empty feeling. Not really happy or upset. I was just left with an empty feeling after the finale. I mean, after season two's finale, I was hyped up for season three. They had that epic cliffhanger with the mind flayer, them being happy in the dance. All that was really good. Season one's finale, I was also excited for next season. But this season, I don't know, was just something was off about it. So I think that the strongest points of season three were best in the first 3 to 4 episodes. They were the best ones. And Billy versus 11 was the best part of the season in my opinion. Also, we got what's his name again? I forgot his name, but the guy with the glasses who can also speak Russian. Yeah, he was one of my favorite characters back in season two when Jonathan and Nancy first visited him. Ah, I remember his name. It was Mari, I think was his name. Yeah, he was. I'm glad to see him in season three. So that makes me at a point for season three. So out of 10. So I think this review's gotten long enough. Let's go out of 10. Season one, in my opinion, gets a 9 out of 10. Season 2 gets an 8 out of 10. It would get a 9 as well if they got rid of the Lost Sister episode. Well, actually, to be fair, Season two's episode 7's, a lot of people I know hated that episode, but I honestly felt that episode is not bad. It's just they placed it in the wrong area. Like, we were getting, the plot was starting to move, and then it just felt like, they added this scene, it broke the flow of the story, so I think that's the reason why it got bad reviews. But other than that, that episode was not that bad either. So I'll just give season two an 8 out of 10. Honestly, this season gets maybe like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. So while season two maybe was underwhelming compared to season one, this one is very underwhelming compared to season two and one. Also, but yeah, Steve continues to be the MVP. I mean, Steve is hilarious now. He got great character development. Not Erica. Robin was a great add-on to the team and all that. And then comedy was mostly on point. It was just like there were some parts that I nitpicked that were pretty out of place. Like as I said last time, Susie and Dawson singing. I mean, good luck with that. I mean, like playing around while the enemy is out to kill you. That's not gonna end well at all. Okay, so my opinion, season three is a worthwhile watch. Definitely not a terrible season. My only complaint is the finale, which was terrible, but the rest were pretty good. Anyway, so thank you all very much for watching. This is Raphael here, my Stranger Things review. So leave a comment down below, tell me what you thought about the season, if you agreed or disagreed with my review. But I'll see you guys in the next video again. Goodbye.